Hi there, I'm Dr. Nicole Steele, the confidence coach. And last week I had a chance to begin a series entitled The 7 Confidence Killers. That's right, 7 confidence killers. And we dove right into the first, which was comparison. And as a confidence coach who works with women and girls of all ages, I am here to tell you that comparing yourself to other people is a huge way to kill your confidence for sure. So if you missed it, I invite you to check it out on replay on the Priceless Perspective podcast. Say that 3 times. The Priceless Perspective podcast, or on my YouTube channel, The Real Nicole Steele. So today I thought we would jump right into the second confidence killer, which is self-doubt. So let's first clearly define self-doubt. Most people can actually provide a simplistic definition, but the question is, do you really recognize how it shows up in everyday life? That's the question. So let's begin by allowing me to give you a few questions to answer to determine if you could be suffering from a classic case of self-doubt. Number 1, do you find yourself having conversations with yourself that often end up with you talking yourself out of doing something that might otherwise be outside of your comfort zone? Do you have a whole conversation with yourself? And before you know it, you have talked yourself down off of that ledge of leap, that opportunity, that experience, that trying that new thing. If that's you, is the answer yes? Number 2, do you find yourself imagining in your mind all of the ways that you'll fail at something before you even give it a try? I think there's a couple people listening that can relate to that. Number 3, do you find yourself constantly seeking the advice of other people because you don't trust yourself to make a sound decision on your own? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then you might actually be dealing with some level of self-doubt. So, why do women and girls struggle so much with this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Based on studies, it appears that women and girls, we often live between 2 worlds. The first world is the world that many of us grew up in that says that we could do anything and we could be anything that we set our minds to, versus another world that society creates, which places limitations on women and girls, and it shows up from the classroom to the boardroom. There have been studies that have actually found, and one day I'm going to actually pack it a little bit more, but there have been studies that have found that actually there is a shift that can take place in girls in particular. In fact, the older that many girls get, the more often, and it might be due to the messages that we're receiving in society, but the more self-doubt settles in, and the less confidence that we have, the older that we get. Is crazy, but there are actually statistics that show that that is true. So if we know that self-doubt is real and it's something that most people suffer from, then what? How can we move beyond self-doubt to a place of confidence? Well, I have 3 quick tips that I want you to consider implementing in your life right away. So the first one is to disrupt the doubt. Say that 3 times. Disrupt the doubt. That's right. Disrupt the doubt. When doubt creeps in, listen, don't entertain it. Don't let it settle in. Don't let it spin out of control. Don't let it grow from a whisper to a huge megaphone of doubt. Instead, talk back to the doubt and say some things like this. In your mind, I want you to consider saying, or actually shouting, no, ma'am, not today. No, 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 we are not going down this road. You can talk to doubt like you're talking to somebody in your face. Say, no, we getting ready to shut it down. By doing this, you can actually disrupt your thought pattern, and you can stop the inner self-doubt from taking over. So again, disrupt the doubt when it creeps in. That's number one. Number two is stop focusing on looking good and start focusing on getting good. How about that? Don't worry about what you look like and what people think, but instead focus on building your skills. Okay? Oftentimes, women and girls, we put way too much focus and attention on what other people think about us and on our performance. And it becomes an obsession. I mean, we can see this on social media. How many likes did I get? Oh my goodness, what are people saying? If we could put that to the side and instead focus on what we're doing, again, building our skill, honing our gift. If we take the focus off of ourselves and off of other people and instead focus on the task at hand, we can begin to see things shift. And as a result, our energy can be spent on getting better instead of caring what other people think. So again, number two is stop focusing on looking good and start focusing on getting good. So the last and final tip, number three, is to be kind to yourself. I know I say this. If you've listened to any of my previous podcasts or messages, my Cups of Confidence segments, you'll hear me say this, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Be kind to yourself. Stop beating yourself up every time something happens. We're going to have disappointing situations. We're going to, mess up from time to time. But so what? You messed up. You bombed. You misspoke. You didn't do as well as you wanted to on a project or a task. But so what? Are we going to stay there and replay it over and over in our minds? Or are we going to pick up and press on? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Berating yourself, it only zaps your energy mentally and physically, and it hinders you from your next performance. So instead, I encourage you to be kind to yourself and give yourself a little bit of grace. Remember, doubt is part of being human. It's a normal experience, and we're going to face it as we navigate through the several stages and phases of life. But it should not be given the power to determine our success, and it should not be allowed to go unchecked and totally kill our confidence. So I look forward to hearing how you are implementing those 3 tips into your life. And I invite you to tune in next time as we pick up from here and continue counting down through the 7 confidence killers. If you've enjoyed this segment, as always, I encourage you to tweet, to tell me about it, send me a message, and to share it with people that you love, okay? Share it with the people in your life. I also invite you to check out, again, archived messages on my Priceless Perspective podcast, as well as on my YouTube channel. You can also visit me at www.therealnicolesteele.com, and you can learn about the programs and the services and some products. And as always, I have some free gifts over there. So hop over there and get your free gift. All right. So as always, I am Dr. Nicole Steele, and it has been real. Until next time, bye.